Hey, small groups, welcome to week 6 of You Asked For It. This weekend we had baptism celebration, which is one of my favorite weekends at Sun Valley. If you aren't in the habit of getting as close to the front of the room as you can on baptism weekend, I encourage you to do so. Seeing the faces of people coming up out of the water, sometimes it's joy, sometimes it's laughter, sometimes it's tears. I'm always moved and reminded that every one of those faces is a story. This is a person that God has rescued, and behind those tears, behind the smiles, behind the hugs, all of that, there is an incredible story of life change. And it's important, especially if you've been in church for a really long time, it's important to see that as often as you can and to be reminded of what it is we are called to be a part of. It's life change, it's people's lives being impacted. Oh my gosh, here's Chad.
Hey everybody. Yeah, so when baptism happens, can you see me?
You're fine, just do your thing.
And the camera guys tell me, okay. Sit in the splash zone. That's what Robert's saying. And no pun intended, but soak it up when we have baptisms, because life change is what our church is all about. With that, quick commercial.
Yeah, no, this is what being lead pastor gets you.
You're doing good, Robert.
You can interrupt anytime you want.
Quick commercial. Next week we're going to begin a new series. It's called In This Place. And I just wanted to let you know it's going to be one of the most important series, and I'm not overstating this. It will be one of the most important series ever in the history of our church. I'm going to be talking about the future of the church over the next few years. You want to be part of this series, and so I want to invite all of you to come and to be there. Just go ahead and be there every week. It's going to be a phenomenal series. It's going to be talking about the future of the church. It's called In This Place. It'll begin this weekend. I'll see you there. Back to Robert.
Thanks, Chad. All right, so every single one of us, we have a bubble, and Chad just invaded my bubble here, but we're back, we're focused. Oh, he's back again. Okay, here's what's important. We're following Jesus, and as we talked about this weekend, we are in a culture that more and more is going to drift away from following Jesus in a lot of different areas. And we can either get real upset and shout from the rooftops, I can't believe this is happening, or we could do what Jesus has commanded us to do. If you've been baptized, if you've said yes to following Jesus, that baptism, it's a declaration that we are a part of the kingdom of heaven, that we follow King Jesus. He is the leader of our lives, and he has given us a command. He has given us orders to follow, and he has said, let me sum up all of the Bible for you. Let me take all the laws, all of that. I have a new command, and a new command meaning this replaces all the other ceremonial laws, all of that. He fulfilled all of that for us. He says, now here's the new command. This is what you are to follow as citizens of my kingdom. You are to love one another. The way that I have loved you, so you must love one another. And it's by this love that people will know that we're followers of Jesus. It is by this kind of love that we have one for another that will set us apart from the rest of society, from the rest of culture. And so we are invited to love all people, people who think differently than us. People who would want to debate us on different topics, that we are to love them as best as we can, as often as we can. And it's by that love that people will know Jesus, that people will come to know Jesus, that people will get in that water and be baptized themselves. And oftentimes we'd rather fight people. We'd rather stand up and shout from the rooftops and make our point clear and make it known that we're smarter than other people on these topics or whatever it may be. But that's not what Jesus has called us to do. He's called us to love first. We lead second, we do that as well, but we always do both. We love and we lead. And so I want to ask you this question, not about yourself, but about somebody else who maybe thought differently than you, maybe disagreed with you on something. Who is somebody who thought differently than you, but loved you anyway? Go around the room, and it might take a moment to think about this, but who's somebody who's disagreed with you on topics, or they've thought differently about things, you guys maybe even butted heads on something, but they still loved you? What did that look like? And how can we learn from them, and how can we do the same when we maybe disagree with people, maybe when there's tensions, to love anyway? So enjoy the conversation. Talk about who's somebody who disagreed with you, but loved you anyway.